Hi everyone and welcome back to some more MotoGP 20 here on this channel. This is part number 44 of my career walkthrough, and in today's episode we head to Spain for Jerez. And what weather are we going to get for this race today? Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to be, yes, it's going to be dry. That is awesome. So let's get straight into the qualifying session and see if we can get a decent spot on the grid, and hopefully we can get on the podium again. So here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Jerez de la Frontera circuit. Just a few more minutes before the MotoGP Spanish Grand Prix finally begins. As you can tell from the footage, we're broadcasting from the track. We're looking forward to great weather for the race. From the starting grid,
I've just made the biggest mistake. I just meant to move on from a free practice session and ended up going straight to the race without putting any qualifying times in. So it looks like we're going to start right from the back. This is not going to be easy. I'm not even sure what tyres that I'm going to run. So I've gone for a medium front, a hard rear, and this is going to be a real difficult challenge today. So let's get straight into it. Right, so here we go with today's race right from the back. Let's see if we can get a decent start. The Honda is pretty quick off the marks. We're going to have to get into that first corner and hopefully take a few places. Really trying to keep that front wheel down, and that is not a bad start. So we should take a couple of riders in that first corner. Yes, hold on to it, be careful. And that is not a bad start. Oh God, the front wheel's got up and almost landed on the back of another rider there. Just trying to move my way through. Coming through, and again just trying to be a little bit aggressive at the start. Now it's probably going to take a little bit of time to get the heat in these tyres, as I'm on probably a harder compound than the rest of the riders in this race, but I wasn't going to take the risk as we try to go into that corner. Just try and hold it. This corner is going to be tough. Tyres are still really cold, and someone else has gone down on that corner. That is no surprise. Now let's try and use the Honda's power on the straights. Now the engine is up to 50% from the start, so we do have that edge over some of the other bikes. The only issue I'm really having is probably with the frame. That is the thing that I'm going to focus on in my upgrading at the moment. Oh, they're pretty slow in that turn. They've gone a lot wider. Let's try and take a couple of riders. We've got Cal Crutchlow trying to hold me off, but I should be able to go on the outside here. And oh, no. I was going to run into him. That was really close there, and we've got him on the outside behind Alex Rins, and this has not been a bad start. We're up to P7 on the first lap. Let's just see a little bit of contact with Alex there. Oh my dear Lord, just trying to feed it through those turns, not feeling 100% confident on these tyres at the moment. Hard on the brakes into this turn. Still having that issue of coming off. We did that in the free practice a couple of times, but that was really frustrating. I managed to do a couple of the development tests, then I thought I'd move it on to the qualified session, and it went straight to the race. That is a real big error by myself, as we just take another place there in behind the Doctor and Valentino. And let's go down the outside of Valentino. Oh, a bit of contact from Alex behind. Just got to be careful we don't get run off here. I've got no, oh bloody hell, watch it, just caught the back tyre, and Alex should retake the position. Yes, that is always going to happen, but that's trying to go on the outside again. We've got to try and manage these tyres. Just trying to feed the power on. Now I didn't really get into the setup on this free practice session. Oh my God, just making contact with Valentino there, so it's not the greatest setup. It's so frustrating when you make those mistakes. You can't go back. Once you commit to the race, you've got to just get straight into it. And we're just trying to take a nice line there, and they seem to go really wide in that turn. And Valentino, what are you doing? Almost ran into the back of me there, and we're up to P5, so we're not far away from a podium position, and I can see my teammate Marquez in third, so that means someone else is leading the race. I think it may be Dovizioso, because he was at the front. I think it may be. So a Ducati is leading the race at the moment. We've got Vinales in front of us. Let's try and latch onto him. And again, just trying to use the Honda power. And we do need to get that anti-system up to speed, I think. Dovizioso is running the fastest at the moment, leading the race as we go a little bit too... Oh, flipping out, no. Whoa! just left the braking a little bit late there, and that almost completely cost us. Again, just trying to get into a rhythm. And again, these tyres do not feel great. I could have gone with the medium. I think that's what I should have gone for, and I think that's what most of the other riders are using. This rear tyre is still cold. It's not feeling, again, just not feeling very good when I'm trying to open the taps. But let's see if we can just catch up with Vinales on the straights. Hard on the brakes. Get it turned in. It's not too bad. We've managed just to catch up. Just latch on to Vinales. We might be able to get closer to the front three. Again, just keeping those lines tight. I think on this circuit you've got to be so smooth on the turns. Tune up the tyres early on is a bit of a risk. Again, just trying to get nice, steady. Again, no, really did need to work on the setup. It's not feeling as smooth on the turns as I would like, and I'm fighting with it a little bit. The thing is, you've got all the power with the Honda, but I still haven't got the handling that I'd like. I mean, the handling I had in Moto2 on that bike was, it was just awesome. With the Sky team, that bike handling was amazing. If I could get the Honda to that standard, then hopefully I can really start pushing it. But again, not very good on the braking there. Struggling to get the front wheel down, but I am closing in on Vinales, and Marquez is still sitting in third. It doesn't look like he's up to speed. And I thought he would be in Spain in front of the home crowd, but he doesn't seem to be able to push that bike. Again, just trying to open the throttle. Again, just not feeling very comfortable, and it is wobbling around a lot on the turn. So let's see if we can just go down the inside. Vinales there, and oh no! Oh bloody hell! Really committed to that and completely fluffed the corner, but luckily managed to stop the bike. Now I find that I can't go too heavy on the front brake, because especially at a tight angle, because you just lose the front all the time. Still haven't managed to cure that problem. It is throwing me out because I'm not able to go into the corners as fast as I'd like, because I'm just so frightened to brake. Again, just trying to get around there. Oh, up the inside, can't get it turned in. And don't go off the circuit. I will. Oh, that was a risk, but I'll take it. And we've managed to get past. And we are in behind our teammate and the world champion Marc Marquez, and we are just no. I thought Vinales was going to run into me there, but luckily I managed to hold that. And we go into lap 5, 2 more laps to go. Let's see if we can latch onto our teammates, and it's Quartararo and Dovizioso up the front. The youngsters probably giving Dobby some grief. I wouldn't say it's the best bike on this circuit, but it seemed to be working for him at the moment. And Marquez is just lagging behind, which is very odd. He hasn't done too well in this championship so far, and I think he's in danger of really dropping down if he doesn't get better than the position he's in. But let's see if we can just give him a little bit of pressure. If we can get a podium finish after starting at the back, that would be absolutely amazing. I would take that right now. Again, tyres look good. Still haven't been able to get the rear up to temperature. Should have gone for the mediums, but that is my mistake. Let's see if we can just push it a little bit harder. So we're running in power 2. We're probably, oh my god, the wider gap. Oh my god, wow. Wow, how did I stay on there? It just was not turning in at all. How wide did I run then? And that is probably going to be the end of our challenge for a podium position, unless we can just get a little bit extra out of this bike on the straights. Look at Marquez, he just has a little bit more. Let's try and be better on the brakes. Again, just being careful on that turn. God. It's not too bad. Just don't have... I'm not smooth enough around the corners. That's where I'm just losing time. Come on, just push this a little bit more on this lap. The front two have just pulled away, so we're not catching... Oh, flipping out again. Oh my God, the rear is all over the place like a flipping roller skate. Just trying to put the power down. And again, late on the brakes. Look at Marquez, he's moving around all over the place as well. I think we're both struggling. That's the problem we've got. I've got probably the best bike, but just running it a little bit wide. Just needs a little bit more upgrade on that frame. It just does not handle as well as you would think. Just gaining on Marquez here. Trying to push it. Again, trying to keep this tight. That is nicely done onto the apex. And can we get him here? We're going to go on the outside. Oh my God, we've gone around the outside of Marquez. For some reason, he was really slow through there. Can we just keep it? He's probably going to attack us on the final corner. We've got to be really good on the brakes here. Get it turned in. Is he going to come around the inside? We've gone really wide into the corner, but no. And we've actually taken Marquez, and we're going to take third and actually end up on the podium. Wow, I was not expecting that. And we take third. I will take that. That was not an easy race. I was struggling for the best part of most of the race, and I'm surprised I didn't crash. The amount of times I came off circuit and went wide and was spinning up the rear. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the highlights of that race. Right, first up, let's look at the start, and this was a really good start. I managed to keep that front wheel down and really drive into that corner and took quite a few places. And I really needed a start like that, and it was all about just trying to avoid any major contact. And again, just struggling to keep that front wheel down. Got in the inside and managed to take at least 4 or 5 bikes early on, which really did help. But again, I think there was a lot of bikes struggling on those turns, but Dovizioso just managed to have that extra, and he managed to get away really quick. And again on that turn, I think there was a crash here. Yeah, someone went off there. That is such a difficult turn. You could see how much I was struggling to put the power down, and the wheel was going up. But overall, that was not a bad first start of the lap, and yeah, just managed to get into a decent position. Right, so here we are starting to take a couple of more positions, and we were taking advantage that they were very quick in that turn. And normally sector 3 is not the greatest sector for me, but I did take quite a few places in that sector today. And Capriccio, for some reason, was really struggling in that turn, and I took advantage of that and managed to make up another position. But I was going quite wide in the turns, and I just managed to get into that turn, make contact with Alex Rins there. Luckily, I didn't slide off and just conceded the position, because I knew if I could just stay with him, I would get another opportunity to make another attack. Again, into that turn wasn't too bad. Right, so once again, really taking advantage of the straight line speed of the Honda, but the thing I was struggling on was the braking, and there I almost ran straight into the Doctor and Valentino. Managed to stop it, and there was a couple of times that I almost ran it off the circuit. Yeah, the brakes just weren't working for me today. And I think I went with the stronger brakes as well on the setup, but yeah, I was really struggling, and that might have caused some of the understeer that I was suffering as well. And on this replay, you can see I muck up the braking point again. I go wide into the turn, slightly on the gravel, almost came off, but I was making these sort of mistakes quite a lot in today's race. Once again, I muck up the braking again. I overtake Vinales here. Couldn't stop the bike, and all I was thinking, don't slide off. Went really wide in the turn, conceded the position, got back on circuit, and then tried again. I was just having these sort of problems all the time, and I just could not get the bike stopped in some of these corners. And next time I might try different brakes, because it was causing me so many issues. So in this replay, I was really putting Vinales under pressure, running really wide in that corner, go up the inside, again not managing to stop the bike on the brakes, slide in, almost went off circuit, managed to swing it around and take the position, but I was taking some risks here, not comfortable on the brakes, into this turn, again running it really wide. Vinales comes around there a lot tighter, we just go side by side, but just managed to regain it, get a good drive on the straight, and I kept the position. So here I am, pushing still, trying to latch onto Marquez, and this time I literally did go off circuit and almost slide off. That was not a good move by me. Right, so here we are on the final lap of the race, and I was starting to put Marquez under pressure. I was in power 2 mode and I was just going for it, and I could see that he was having issues in the turns as well, under braking as well. He was moving all over the place when he was trying to stop the bike, so I thought he's having issues, and if I put him under enough pressure he might crack. But he didn't really crack. I think he just made a mistake on one of the corners on the braking zones, but we will see. Here, really trying to look at us, sliding all over the place, trying to put the power down, but under braking, you watch how much movement both bikes have got under braking. Look, he's all over the place trying to stop it, weaving around, and this is where I thought if I could just push it through sector 3, I might have a chance getting on that podium. But I also thought I didn't want to have any contact with Marquez. I didn't want to come off myself, and I didn't want to take him off. You've got to play the team card at some point. And here we are, really still trying to put the power down into this turn. Look, you can see the back end's going up as I'm trying to brake heavy. Again, sliding around. Right onto the apex, sliding. That rear's all over the place. And I go around the outside. He was just really, look, he put his hand up. He was not happy with that move. I mean, it was slight contact, but he was just so slow. So I wasn't going to complain, and I took the position. So into that final corner, tried to keep it as tight as possible, and drove it to the line, and took third position in a race I didn't think I was even going to finish in the top 10. Right, let's have a look at the final standings. So Dovizioso gets a win, Quartararo in second, me in third, Marquez in fourth, Vinales in fifth, Rossi in sixth. Where was our other teammate? Alex Marquez in 12th. That's better than what he's had recently, and I don't think he crashed in that race, which is, I think, is a first. But that moves us, well, we're still in first, Dovizioso in second, but Marquez has dropped down to fourth. The world champion is under threat of losing his title. Team championship, we still should be leading, but yeah, so we end up on the podium after a nightmare not actually being able to qualify, but yeah, still need to work on this bike. We're just got to have to focus on that frame. If we can get that frame up to at least around 75%, hopefully we can see some better setups, but I'm really struggling with the front end, the braking, and let me know if anyone else had Honda, if they're having the same issues. I mean, I've seen loads of people on Suzuki, Aprilia saying that the handling on the bike isn't too bad, but just lacks engine power. I would have actually gone for that. The engine power is not the issue for me, it is just the handling. If I look at how I had the Moto2 bike set up, it wasn't the quickest in the straight line, but the handling was so good on it, and that's where I was winning most of my races. But anyway, so that is the end of today's race. We get a decent result in Spain, and in the next episode I do believe it's France, but we'll have a look at what upgrades we've got up and running, so let's get straight to that now. So here we go. Right, so in the next episode it is France, and we have got no upgrades ready for the next race, but we have got a frame upgrade a week away, and that's something that we're going to have to look forward to. But anyway guys, thanks so much for watching today. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share the video if you can, and I will see you very, very soon.